They're very different. Type 2 most of the time can be prevented, or even if you get it, you can take good enough care of yourself that you can that you won't have it anymore, because the difference between type 1 and 2, the main difference is that as a type 1 diabetic, your pancreas just completely shuts down. It will not produce insulin anymore, versus as a type 2 diabetic, your pancreas is still producing insulin, but your body can't process the insulin for it to work appropriately. So that's why a lot of the time either women who are pregnant have type 2, or because, you know, with the little baby it's harder to process all the insulin, or if people are overweight, then they'll often get type 2 diabetes. Sometimes people get type 2 just from eating really unhealthy as well, whether they're overweight or not. But once again, if you like start taking better care of yourself, then generally it can go away. Obviously not with the maternity situation, but after they have their kid, then it'll normally go away, the gestational. And so also as a type 2, if it gets bad enough, then they'll have to start giving shots. But in like the early stages, they normally just have to like take pills for it and stuff. You can't do that as a type 1 diabetic. You have to give yourself shots. You have to put in the insulin and stuff. So they're not really the same disease at all. But people tend to like associate the word diabetes with type 2, which is kind of interesting. But really they're not the same. So if someone's a type 1 diabetic, it doesn't mean that they're unhealthy. Might be, but it doesn't mean that, and it doesn't mean that you're fat or anything. It just means your pancreas stopped working. So they're different diabetes. It's just, or different diseases. It's just the same basic insulin problem that ties them to being both diabetes. So they're really different. They really are.